Hello everyone! So today I am on a different decor. I'm really sorry about that. I hated the way that I was being filmed up there because I was on my desk slash library area and I hated it. So now you're in my bed. Don't look at it too much, and I'm sorry about the blank wall. I'm still trying to decorate my room and trying to find places where I would like to film also. The lighting is really bad because it's been so gloomy these past days, so sorry about that. But today I am bringing you a new tag because I really liked the last book tag that I did, and I wanted to do this one when I started my Booktube videos, but I didn't really like the questions, but I thought, you know what, let's do it anyways. So let's get on with the video. The first question being, when did you start this channel? So my channel as a whole started off as being more of a lifestyle vlog channel, and it evolved into a more booktube centered channel. I'm hearing weird noises outside. I don't think you can hear them, but what is going on? So my channel started last year. I know it's been a year already, it's crazy. During the quarantine lockdown, when the whole world was in lockdown, so I think it was around March or June that I started my channel. And yeah, so as I said, it was just like a more lifestyle vlogs type of channel. And I think my booktube channel started around 2 months ago, I would assume. Probably 2 or maybe 3 months ago, but I'm not really consistent. And I'm really working on that. I'm not consistent with my channel at all, but I'm really working on being consistent with my booktube content. And I'm shifting slowly towards booktube content because it was always my dream to start a booktube channel, but I was always self-conscious about what I'm gonna say, because I'm not a native English speaker, so I was like, you're not gonna be able to explain the books that you're reading well in English and all that, so there's that. Okay, the second question, which I hate with a passion, and I feel like I've watched a lot of videos and a lot of people hate this question as well. It is, what are some fun or unique things I can bring to booktube? And being completely honest, nothing at all, which makes absolutely no sense. And it's like, why did you do a YouTube channel, like a booktube channel? I mean, the only thing that I think that I can bring is my personality, but that's unique. Everyone is bringing their own personalities into booktube. Something else that I can bring, I think, is just maybe more, I would say diverse, but I also because I don't only read fantasy YA, I also really like other genres of books, which I think is another question. So maybe that, but honestly, just my personality and my sense of humor, but it just ends up being nothing if you think about it. The third question is, what are you most excited for this channel, this new channel? I'm really excited to just learn. To me, this is a learning ground and it's a learning experience. I'm really excited to not necessarily grow the channel, and I'm not really focused on growing it, though it would be nice to grow the channel and meet other people that are booktube lovers or are just interested in reading books. But it's more so a learning ground for me. So I'm really excited to get better on what I'm doing, and yeah, just getting better on what I'm doing, and hopefully, growing this channel. But it's not the main focus. The main focus being getting better at what I'm doing and getting more confident, and just having this, which is really selfish if you think about it, but yeah, just being more confident in myself and my skills, and getting more comfortable talking about something that I love, which is books and reading. The fourth question is, why did you love reading? And I feel like it's the same answer for everyone, and it's escapism. Reading brings me joy and happiness, and it makes me also escape from the real world. And though I haven't really been an avid reader all throughout my life, this year I've seen that I've particularly been really enjoying reading, and I've been reading so much. And I've just tailored my reading style and just, the books that I love reading. And I've seen that it helps me not only have not only escape from the reality, but also learn new vocabularies and filling my head up with a lot of new worlds and new fantasies, and I can just, basically escape and just imagine what I would be like if I was in that book, especially if it's a fantasy YA, or if it's maybe something more like of a historical fiction. It's teaching me about some history that I maybe wasn't aware of. So there are a lot of things, but mostly escapism and teaching me new things. I think that would be it. The fifth question is, what book or series got you into reading? Now, this was back in 2012 or maybe 2011. There was a series that I don't think is well known. I don't really think it's well known, but it was Die For Me by Amy Plum, which was back in the days, and I just remember being so obsessed with this series, and I think it was the first ever series that I've ever finished in my whole entire life. Granted, I was like, maybe 10, 11, or maybe like 11, 12 years old. So it was a while back. And I just remember being so obsessed with this book and this series and all the characters, and I thought that it was the greatest book ever. I would really like to reread it to like have my perspective of now me being an adult, what I feel about this book. So I think that would be really interesting, but it was Die For Me by Amy Plum. The sixth question is, what questions would you like to ask your favorite booktuber? And to be fairly honest, I don't really have a question. Maybe just like, how are you? I hope you're doing great, just how's life? But I don't really know. I'm not really, usually when like people are doing Q&As and stuff like that, I don't really ask questions because I don't really have questions to ask, because if I'm interested in something and the person has already talked about this, I've already watched the video about it or seen the tweet about it, or so mostly I'm just interested in what the person is putting out, more so than me myself going to ask someone a question and being like trying to dig in personal information or something like that. So I don't really know. Seventh question is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? So I just had a meltdown before turning on the camera and filming this because I looked like a clown. My makeup was awful. It was all over the place. My hair was disgusting. Also, it was sort of my perfectionism and the fact that sometimes I just don't care enough to be a perfectionist, or maybe I'm a perfectionist and then I'm having meltdown and then I don't care anymore. So I feel like just my confidence is going to be the thing that's going to be the hardest to overcome. It's not necessarily the confidence that is the hardest thing to overcome. It's more so my insecurities. That's what I'm trying to say, is my insecurities are going to be the hardest things to overcome. And to overcome my insecurities, I need confidence, which I don't necessarily have all the time. So that's what I'm trying to say. The eighth question is, when did you start reading? And I always read because I had to because I was obligated to. So I remember in like primary school we had to do readings. The teachers were really adamant on us reading, so every single week we had to read short stories for a whole year and stuff like that. So I've technically always read, even since like kindergarten, I've always read. But in reality, just me on my own reading for my own pleasure started when I was around 10, 11, 12, question mark, with Die For Me, the series, and then I stopped and it came back around high school. So it's kind of like, I don't really know when to pinpoint it, because it was kind of cut around into pieces. So the ninth question is, where do you read? And I found that I just can't really read in my room, because I've already done online classes in my room and it's just like a lot of things go on here. So for a long time I only was able to read in the subway. So when I was going to school, when I was going to meet someone, the only place I could read was in the subway, because I had 1 hour of me in the subway of just reading. But now I've realized that I can basically read anywhere, sometimes even in my room, but it's like it really depends. But mostly I just read in my living room or when I go out or on my phone. I've realized that if I have books on my phone, so like ebooks on my phone, I can read more easily than just like a random book, like lounging on my bed. And the 10th and last question is, what kind of books do you like to read? So I've touched a little bit on that. I like reading some fantasy YA. I also like reading, I don't really know how to qualify this. I would just qualify it as East Asian literature. So from East Asian authors. I don't really know if it has a specific name, but in the library that's usually how it's categorized. I also really, I think it's one of my favorite genres. It's historical fiction. I absolutely love historical fiction. And I think that's pretty much it. I have some romances here and there, but it's not my favorite genre. And classics. So fantasy YA, historical fiction, classics, and East Asian literature are my top 4 books. That was 8. My top 4 genres of books. So yes, that was absolutely it for the tag. It was really short and sweet, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you later. Bye bye, take care.